This is Karin's story. She's going to share with you her vulnerable space and how losing her 8-month-old baby impacted her life, and how she was able to move forward and to make any sense of that devastating and traumatic event. We're truly grateful to Karin for sharing her vulnerability with us today.
Hi, my name is Karin, and I'm here to speak to you about my son Cameron. You see, in a couple of days, it would be Cameron's 34th birthday. We won't be celebrating this year, and in fact, Cameron didn't get to celebrate any of his birthdays because he passed away at the tender age of 8.5 months, suddenly and quite unexpectedly. And so as we approached that first birthday, I was at a complete loss of what to do. How could I possibly get through the day? And I had a daughter, Cameron's older sister, who at that point was 3.5 years old. And so when she found out that it was to be her little brother's birthday, she was very excited. "Oh, Mummy, she said, "we have to celebrate. Let's go and have a picnic in his park where his treasure chest is. We'll have to make a cake, Mummy, and it should be a banana cake because Cameron loved bananas." And she says, "and we'll put a candle on it, and we'll blow it out." And she says, "and then we can have a picnic and we can sing to him. Oh, Mummy, it'll be wonderful." Wow. Everything suggested was just so far from anything that I personally could think of as feasible. How could I even begin? But on the other hand, how could I tell my sweet, innocent, delightful, happy little 3.5-year-old that we weren't going to celebrate her little brother's birthday? So that's what we did. We grabbed a blanket, I baked a banana cake, we got candles, we made a picnic, and off we headed to the cemetery, spread our blanket in the garden just across from where the gravesite was. And yes, we lit a candle, we sang happy birthday, we had a picnic, and we celebrated our little boy. And that was birthday number 1. And somehow we have made it all these years to today. And I look at the time that has gone by, I wonder just how I navigated that and how did I get from those days of deep, deep grief to today. It certainly wasn't easy. I think about it, it's at the time I remember people saying to me one of two things. There can't possibly be a God who would let this happen. Or there must be a God because who can understand this, because it's certainly beyond anything that I can figure out. And in the end, that was the category that I fell into. With Cameron's coming and Cameron's going, I learned that I knew then that we are spiritual beings. We have a soul. We are here on this earth. We've been given the gift of this life to come and experience the world and each other and to learn how to live with each other, how to be kind, how to give, how to live in reciprocity. And that's not anything to be taken for granted. In those early days, though, I had such a hard time. I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know where I was going or why. All of the energy I had amassed over 9 months of pregnancy to see this new being into life and, into adulthood now had nowhere to go, and everything seemed wrong. There was no decision that I could make that fit with my image of what the world was supposed to be or my dreams for my family. It took a lot of prayer, it took a lot of time, it took a lot of contemplation. And in the end, I realized I would never get the answers that I sought. I would never know why or how, at least not in this lifetime. And so in the end, I decided that whatever I chose to believe, whatever decision I could come to that would give me peace and allow me to go on was okay, because we would never know. And when it comes to poor little Cameron, he never had a chance to develop a legacy in his life that he would leave behind. His legacy, in fact, was how we lived our lives, having known him and having lost him. It would be very easy for me to slip into anger and bitterness and just withdraw from the world and think it was all unfair and live in constant upset about that and feel victimized by it. But I realized that if I did that, this would become Cameron's legacy. It is not what we do that lives on after we do, but it's the things that people remember and hold up in memory of us that becomes our legacy. And I didn't want anybody ever to say, Karin was such an interesting and bright and vibrant and fun person, and she had so much potential, but her little boy died and she was just never the same. It was like a part of her died with him and she just shut down. My little boy deserved better than that. We were so much richer for him having come into our lives, and we learned so much when he left. And I decided at that moment that I really needed to learn to live my life with an open heart, even when it hurts. It's not easy. I don't always succeed. But one thing Cameron had taught me is life is precious and we're all vulnerable and no tomorrow is guaranteed. And so if I have the opportunity today, I want to try to live with love and grace and kindness. Happy birthday, Karin.
We're incredibly grateful to Karin for sharing her very moving story and the insights that she learned during that time. We pray God's blanket of peace to be wrapped around her and to you if this is something you're experiencing too. New Ross Baptist Church extends its love and its heart to you in the love of Jesus.